Hello, hello. So, do you know the feeling that somebody comes to you to complain about their significant other? And they say, "Oh, my significant other is doing this and this and this, you wouldn't believe it." And you want to make them feel better. So, what do? You say, "You think that your significant other is not great. Let me tell you about the treasure I have at home." And you basically tell them a horrific story about your significant other. Try to make them feel better in comparison. Well, we studied that question and we discovered a few things. The first thing we discovered was that sometimes people lie to make the other person feel better. So if you come to me with complaint about something and I do what's called upward comparison, I'm giving you an even worse example to make you feel better in comparison. People exaggerate. They don't make up things completely, but they exaggerate to make the other person feels better. We also learned that in the process, people take a personal hit. Because after they say something negative about their significant other, they say, "Oh, maybe they're not that great." So people are doing it for the other person, taking a hit on their self. And two other interesting things. We do it more for people that we care about. Why? Because the people we care about, we want them to be happier and we're willing to take some sacrifice for that. So, in fact, it's a very altruistic act, this providing a more positive comparison, making somebody feel, no, whatever you're feeling is not just normal, you're above the normal. You thought it was not great, but it's indeed great. And the final thing that we learned was that people do it when they think that the other people cannot change their situation. So, for example, imagine you came to me in one of two situations. You either just start dating somebody and you're complaining, or you've been married to somebody for 10 years and you're complaining. In the dating situation, you might have an out. Being married for 10 years, much, much more difficult. How do I give you a negative comparison differentially in those two cases? In the first case, if things are not going well for you, I want you to realize it. I don't want you just to feel better. I want you maybe to get out of that relationship. So if you're in a new relationship and there's still lots of things that we could do, people don't engage in that activity that much. Why? No. Here's the bad things. Tell me about it. Let's talk about it. I don't want to make you feel better. I want you to soak in that feeling so that you will decide what to do. But if you have been around with that person for a long time, you're married, you have two kids, it's going to be much more difficult to get out. Your situation is less changeable. Then I want you to feel better. Anyway, I hope you agree that there's fascinating concepts here in terms of how we provide our friends social comparison in order to make them feel better, and also the nuances. We care more, we do it more, we suffer, we do it when things are less changeable. But I hope it also makes you realize how even simple interactions like complaining and giving feedback are just fascinating. The more we learned about this, the more I started looking at the interaction between people as just unbelievable. Look at this. You're complaining to somebody and they're in some non-conscious way, people are thinking, how much do I care about this person? How much I want to help them? How much I want them to change their behavior? And all of these computations get into something as simple as giving us feedback and listening to our complaining. I hope we'll have less things to complain about. But when you do complain, please pay attention to what a complex and interesting social experience it is. To less complaining, but better complaining when we do it. All the best.